We're glad to have you back. Now, Fintech has been experiencing rapid growth and development in recent years with new innovations and technologies emerging constantly. Fintech, which means financial technology, refers to using technology to improve and automate financial services. With the rise of Fintech, the financial industry has been more accessible, efficient, and inclusive, offering numerous opportunities for individuals and businesses alike. From mobile payments to digital wallets, Fintech has revolutionized the way we manage our finances and, of course, conduct transactions. Let's get talking. I introduced him earlier. He's the Managing Director, Softalives, Dr. Bisi Aino. Thank you so much. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Tony. It's nice to be here.
Yes, like we spoke off camera, there's a lot of development in the world of Fintech. I don't know, you are a professional operating in this space. Where are we in Nigeria and can we do better?
Thank you very much once again. We've gone far. And if we start from the early stages, when you look at 2005, we have the initial stage where you have cards, MasterCard, Visa card coming into the Fintech place. To really explain, of course, the word Fintech, it's a simple word. It has finance and technology. And what technology is actually doing is to drive digital payment. The normal way of banking is for you to go to the bank and all of that. But what the technology part of it is to drive this payment in a digital way. Yeah. Now, so over the years, like I said, from 2010 to 2015, that was the early stage where you had internet penetration, where you have the government of the day, the central bank, the regulatory authority, talking about cashless policies. Yeah. Then the growth continues even from 2015 to 2020, where you then have internet penetration, you have smartphone being used extensively, and then you have, of course, the policy of cashless policy still in place, and then you have the early stage of COVID, and then you have quite a lot of fintech companies coming up. And with the coming up of startup companies, yeah. There came in a lot of funding, international funding to help, fintech. And then there was also embracement of this digital platform all along the line. So with the outcome from 2021 to date, that has even grown more. So you now have several payment platform, fintech companies coming in. Today we probably have close to about over 250 fintech companies in Nigeria, trying to serve, those that are banked and, also even trying to find a way for some of the unbanked, people in the rural areas. So if you look at the journey so far, where are we? Today we've made a substantive growth in fintech. And if you look at what are the challenges that we have today, the challenges we have today has to do with the infrastructure that is available.
That's always been a challenge, and this FX thing will be affecting too.
Of course. So you find out that the infrastructure deficit has caused quite a lot of challenges. And then, before you get all of this infrastructure for fintech companies, there's also the need for them, to rely on Forex, like you said, just like we've been talking about. Most of the servers that you need to buy has to be bought, from outside of the companies and all of that. But again, the regulatory authority, central banks that regulate, fintech also, has to do more in terms of consistency in their policies. So that happens to be one of the challenges that, we have today. Now, of course, you all know the syndrome of Japa, because a lot of skilled workers are, not available any longer. There's competition from, foreign companies that are also, taking our skilled workers away. So that's also, one of the challenges that we've seen in fintech company. So there's still a lot to be done. I mean, when you look at the prospect, in terms of prospect, you can see that there's still a lot of opportunities. If you look at other companies in the world, like India, today India has over 2,000 fintech companies. And if you look at the United States of Nigeria, United States of America, you have close to over 10,000 fintech companies. So there is a lot of growth. What we need to do is to ensure that we focus on those challenges that we've spoken about. Like you said, the Forex, how to make sure that we have a stable forex,
Yeah.
and then, of course, to ensure that the regulatory authority continue to pass a consistent policies that allow the fintech themselves to grow, and then the government to also find a way to prevent some of the challenges that we are talking about, which is cybersecurity. If you notice, a lot of hackers are going into the banking industry and going in to penetrate them. And what happened is also affecting some of the fintech company as well. So what we need to do is to ensure that more is done in terms of encouraging more people to embrace fintech as we proceed in the line.
Brilliant way to really start this. And let's talk about identity issues and how to maybe data management and all of that. We have the NIMC, we have the BVNs and all of that. Are we getting to that point where we'll have a centralized system where we can, when are we going to get to that point?
Really, I would say in the past few years, we've been doing quite well with our NIN registration.
Wow.
I mean, today I think we've done more than 100 million or thereabouts.
Yes.
And with that number, it's really an extensive thing that have been achieved. But what I think needs to be done is to collaborate all of the identity that we have today, so that we then increase the number of people to be enrolled on NIN. Now, with other technology coming in place, artificial intelligence, blockchain, we can leverage on this new technology to actually ensure that we can get information of every individual. So it will be good to know everything about you. If you're able to know everything about you, then it becomes a problem for you to do what you're not supposed to do, especially when it has to be with fraudulent activity. So it is important for us, for the government of today, especially the NMIC, to work more and ensure that more people should come into the national identity, structure in this country.
You're doing a lot around managing wastages, blocking leakages, and even I read as much as flushing out ghost workers at a particular time. Tell us more about what you're doing.
Soft Alliance has been around since 2004, and so that means this year we are celebrating our 20th
Wow,
anniversary.
that's 20 years.
And I can tell you one thing that we've been doing from the beginning. We started with Lagos State government, and then we implemented what you call an enterprise resource application that helps them to manage all of their financial application, human capital management, and procurement. And right from that point, we also look at how we will manage bloated civil service. And that was one of the ways that the then governor was able to save a lot of money from the initial application that was being used. So we have done that, and we've even moved into HighPace, which is the federal government platform.
Oh, okay.
And we're there, and we're working extensively to work with the government of the day to ensure that we're able to verify everybody who is in the database, to ensure that ghost workers is something that becomes a thing of the past. Yes, there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, I always say this most of the time. Technology is not a standalone platform. Technology works with people, and it works with processes. And so people can at the same time, frustrate technology. So, but what is most important is to ensure that the government of the day, along with, the people in control, to ensure that we also improve our policies, and we ensure that we monitor, individuals, like we mentioned about the national identity record, which is able to know that any payment, if you run payroll actually goes to the actual person that money is intended to go. And so with NIN and BVN, this has been able to control a lot of leakages that have been found in the past. And we continue to do biometric and ensure that NIN and other identity opportunity that is available, we're able to use this to actually reduce ghost worker, both at the federal government, and we continue to do this. We're also encouraging now to have a single central database. We still have a bit of silos of application. There's a need to coalesce all of this platform together, so that if you are in any ministry, there's no way you can, duplicate yourself in other database. So that's some of the things that we're encouraging the government of the day to ensure that is implemented, and that will reduce a lot of, the idea of continue to reduce ghost worker in the system. It is tough.
That's really interesting, but I will follow up with you and say that tackling corruption, do you think technology can help us sort it out?
Oh, yes. But I will still come back to tell you that, yes, technology can help, but we need to adopt technology. We also need to do a lot of education, because, an officer can be asked to be given a user on an application. And they can decide, this same person can decide to give the user information, his login information, to some of his subordinates to actually, log into the system, and that is not the way it should be. So there is a lot of need for consumer education. Public officers need to be educated more on the use of technology. And that is the people part I was talking about. And of course, the policies also has to be put in place. I think the federal government today is already doing a pilot of, document management system to ensure that documents are not just, being carried from one place to another. And then carrying documents from one place to another also, is prone for fraud. But if you're able to do a thorough automated process, then leakages will really be reduced because the information is there forever. Nobody can go in and thaw the paper or destroy anything.
You've identified the challenges, of course, affecting the industry. But what are the prospects for you if you look at it for this entire fintech space?
Like I said, a lot of inflow has come in through fintech.
Yeah,
quite a lot of inflow since the
venture fundings and all of that coming.
They keep coming in. But however, with the current fluctuation in the forex, foreign exchange market, the investors that are coming in with their money would want to take their money back, and so the problem now is there's a bit of slowdown in that startup funding round that have been coming in through venture capital. But however, we might also have to look inward as a country. There are so many individual angel investors in Nigeria that can actually be encouraged to invest, rather than relying 100% on foreign investment alone. So we can, if that encouragement is enough and education is made, that encourages, local people to actually invest on fintech. I think that's also, will go a long way.
So where do you see your firm maybe in a few years to come?
We've been around for 20 years.
Yes, that's no joke.
That's no joke. And we continue to grow and we continue to move forward. We want to be number one in the nation. We want to continue to ensure that we're able to block more leakages, and we're also able to ensure that we don't have bloated payroll, and also to ensure that we're able to increase revenue for majority of our companies. Today we have what you call central billing system. Central billing system has been deployed by Soft Alliance to several states in Nigeria, and that has actually helped growth of their revenue. And then officers are not able to go in and find a way to the money that's supposed to get into the purse of the government, they are not able to put it into their pocket because central billing is able to control that. So we have that, and then we believe that we will continue to help public sector, private sectors alike in technology.
But 1 minute before you go, AI and jobs. Many are saying some of this might lead to job losses. Are you thinking that taking full advantage of technology might not lead to job losses in one way or the other?
Honestly, I don't see any way that AI or blockchain will take away people's job. Like I mentioned again, technology cannot start alone.
Yeah.
You need to program things. People need to interact with technology.
Yeah.
I think what I would tell people out there is that go in and learn more. Whatever profession that you have today, you need to learn. You need to learn technology. Technology should be part of what every person should learn. And our institutions should, add more into learning about, enhance the capacity of everybody to be able to, learn technology. Thank you very much.
Dr. Bisi Aino, Managing Director, Soft Alliance. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Tulu. I really appreciate it. It's nice to be here.
All right, then coming up on the show again, we'll shift our focus to discussing the performance